Good morning, ladies and gents, girls and boys. Danny Stewart here for BaseJapanDirect.com with another naked sound review. And today I have in one of Fujigen's very own house brands, FGN, stands for Fujigen, of course. And this is their standard jazz bass. So this is a 60s position pickup jazz bass. Just gonna double check the spacing there. Yes, 60s position pickup, and a solid ash body. This is in two pieces, but you'd barely know it. Looking at the back, it looks like it's one piece from the front and back. You can just see the seam when you look at the sides of the body. It's just there. So it's very well put together, and it's in a beautiful, as you can see, it's in a beautiful natural vintage finish there. And then the neck is maple on maple, so and it's in a gloss finish. And on this one, you've got a thin D grip on this. It's nice and comfortable, actually. I like the grip on this. And it plays very, very nicely. Like, I think the quality of the neck is comparable, for example, to an Atelier Z, in that it's got similar fretwork, medium jumbo frets. It's got the white binding. It's got a bone nut. And yeah, it's comparable, except it doesn't have the skunk stripe. So maybe not quite as the Atelier Z necks tend to be all in one, one piece of maple. So maybe this is maple on maple. So maybe Atelier Z are a tiny bit more stable. But I think the difference is probably negligible. So I'm just nice intonation, and again I'm playing like this because my elbow keeps giving me trouble on my right arm. But so a very nice rear pickup tone, I think. And listen to that low B. It's pretty damn solid. It sounds good. So yeah, the neck construction is very, very good quality, and for the price point, these basses are averaging something like 150,000 yen, something like that, brand new for the 5-string. The 4-string's a bit cheaper, and they come in a few different colors. Like they do, I think they do white blonde. There's a blue burst one as well, transparent blue burst. The prices don't differ very much at all. So if you're interested in getting one of these, I'm actually going to make a listing for this model. This particular one is going out to to a partner, so this particular one is not available, but we can get the same or similar, or other finishes like black. I think they do a solid black, and they do, I believe, vintage white. Yeah, so just some sort of standard sort of colors that they offer for this range. So what's I've forgotten the name of this range again, but it's the Fujigen NJB or something, NJB5, and One of the features I like about Fujigen very much is that they countersink the bridge in almost all of their models. So that's a very neatly countersunk. And that's a Goto 203B5 bridge. Um, and I think that, allows to get a lower action, smoother playability. Um, Overall, you get a nice trajectory. Um, the neck sits fairly low in the pocket, and it has top adjust truss access. So that's actually at the headstock end. Um, a lot of the makers say that bottom adjust is more stable, but I don't know. I think I personally prefer bottom adjust. It's also a little bit easier to access than at the headstock, but nah, it doesn't make that much difference, does it really? But yeah, it's great. I was playing with the tone down on the rear pickup. Yeah. Yeah, it's that's nice. It's got a nice cutting rear pickup tone for a 60s position. And the pickups are their own pickups. I think they're probably OEM made by Goto. I don't know, but they're Alnico fives, and for a bass that costs 150,000 yen, which is roughly right now it's about $1,200. It's very reasonable. I think for the build quality. The only thing I would say about Fujigen is they're not handmade. They use CNC routers. Um, at the factory, they have a few CNC routers. Their factory is actually downsized since the Fender Japan heyday, um, but they're still very much in operation. But they use CNC routers for everything now, I think. And I noticed that compared to like handmade instruments like the Atelier Z or Bacchus or Combat or Dragonfly or whatever, the fit's very good, but there is you could slip a very thin sheet of paper down there, um, so it's not as the attention to detail is not quite as finite as you would get on the actual handmade instruments. Like Deviser, they're situated not far from Fujigen, actually, just up the road in Matsumoto, and they do not use CNC routers. All of their routers are hand operated, and I found that all of their brands, Bacchus, Momose, STR, all of them, the fit is really tight. It's flawless. You couldn't fit a thin sheet of paper between the neck and the body at the pocket at all. It's really, really tight. So I think there's something to be said for that. So these are produced in larger quantities as a result, because it's quicker to do all the CNC routing. They can process stuff quicker than if it's done by hand. But when you don't have the human touch, it makes things a little bit generic, doesn't it? So although I think this is absolutely brilliant for the money, that is one thing that I notice. But I do love the countersunk bridge, and the looks are great. It's got this joint here without a plate. It's got the bushings for the bolt-on neck there. So it's got a little bit of a modern aspect to it there. The cutaway and access to the top frets, that's fine for the technique I employ. I don't find that's any challenge at all. Let's listen to it. So that's balanced with the tone right up. If I go tone down. Yeah, so you got enough tonal scope there to make a nice glassy kind of slap tone. Yeah, it's nice. Front pickup, tone down. Yeah, so that was with the tone down, palm mute, a couple of different styles there. Some playing on the E string as well. Let's go with the tone up now. So that's with the tone up. Yeah, it's kind of clean. It's not like you're not going to get like a P bass tone out of it, but it's a sort of a clean front pickup tone. Um, it's not as aggressive as for as I like for my personal taste, but it's quite nice. And it sounds pretty nice for slap as well on the front pickup, even so. That's balanced front pickup. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, overall, I think it's an excellent package for the money, and you've got very high quality Goto tuning pegs on those. Are the GB 11Ws. Bacchus uses those as standard. Moon uses those as standard as well. So I mean, they're not cheap tuning pegs at all. They've got good high gear ratio. Um, they're not the lightest ones though. So if you're after lighter tuning pegs, I would recommend the Resolite series instead, which are a lot more expensive than standard series like these. But yeah, these are at the upper end of the price range for the standard series. Yeah, so it's a nice package. It's got a good case as well. You'll see it in the listing once it's up. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a good contender. For example, Bacchus Craft Series. It's something equivalent to that, in my opinion, in terms of build quality and components, sound, and playability. It's something like the Bacchus Craft Series. This is a high-end Bacchus, not Craft Series, but yeah, the Craft Series are made in Japan too, but they use slightly lower grade components, but they don't do any countersinking of the bridge and stuff. So I mean, they're both about as good as each other, though I think in terms of playability, quality. and tone, but the Bacchus are all hand. They're all handmade. Everything's hand lathed or hand routed, and so on. So there is that human touch. But yeah, man, definitely very, very good for the money. So there's yet another good option for those of you who are in the market for jazz basses. They do have some active models as well. The other model, which is quite popular over here, is the Mighty Jazz or Mighty Might, which is their original active jazz bass that uses EMG pickups. That also has a passive version as well, um, and that's pretty good. Similar price range on a 5 string, brand new. So yeah, there you go, guys. That's the Fujigen NJB series 5 string in ash. Um, and yeah, I think it's a relatively moderate weight. You know, it's not too heavy, but it's not light either. I'm going to say this is about 4.4 kilograms, which would be sort of in line with just weigh that on the hanging scale. That's going to be sort of in line with your Atelier Z's and your yeah, it's actually 4.7, so it's quite heavy. It's quite a heavy one, which is you know, a bit like some of the Atelier Z's. They tend to be quite heavy. Some of the exotics as well tend to be quite heavy. They use white ash like this is, which is a pretty dense and high quality ash. Um, so, you know, if you don't like heavy instruments, um, if sort of like 4 kilograms, if you're expecting to get a 5 string at around 4 kilograms, then this isn't for you. In fact, nor is the Bacchus craft series either. That's gonna need a custom order made instrument, you see. So yeah, I mean, most of the 5 strings over here, like Moon, for example, Atelier Z, their average 5 string weight is around 4.4 or 4.5 kilograms, something like that. Okay, that'll do it. I'll stop rambling. Cheers for watching. And if you're interested, you can hit the link below to find out more about this listing, more about the spec and everything. And if you want to order one, you can, and you can get them in various colors. Okay, so that'll do it, guys. Cheers for watching.